What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling right now? Check in, people. Go ahead, check in right now. Let me know how you doing. Only on here for a minute. Just wanted to jump in. Listen, people, we have to understand this. I want to share big news with you. Big news about big come-ups. Always looking for times and opportunities to be able to help people grow, help you understand, help you see progress. Top Gun, what's up, B? How you feeling? Man, I need for you to know right now, this is important. This is important for everyone to hold on to. Stop living in the presence and the shadow of past behavior. Stop looking at how you've done things wrong. You will not get better talking about, going over, and discussing the things that you have done that did not work out. You do not need to remember how you did something wrong. I am adamant about the fact that you need to forget everything that you've done wrong. You need to forget every action that you took that was the wrong action. This doesn't mean that you need to forget your past. I'm not telling you to not know your history. I'm telling you, for those steps and those behaviors that you took that allowed for you to incorrectly achieve something or prevented you from achieving something, any of those things that resulted in a failure, don't look at the things that you did to get to the wrong place. Just start doing the things necessary to get to the right place. So many of us get caught up in the conversations about how we got to the wrong place, the things we did to get to the wrong place, that we never get into an understanding or into a conversation about the right way to do the right things to get to the right place. That is what's important. We live so much in the moments of, oh man, well, I did this last time. Oh man, I don't want to do that again. But if you don't know the right thing to do, man, you can talk about all the wrong steps that you took your entire life. If no one ever teaches you the right steps to take, discussing the wrong steps mean nothing. I'll always cover it. We always discuss, and I explain that repetition is the key to discipline. When we start thinking about the fact and we start understanding that when it comes to doing things correctly, when it comes to doing things in a way that's going to be beneficial for your growth and your development, excuse me, then we have to start to look at doing things that are different from where you are now. The work that you do gets you to a certain place, and then you have to move on. When you're in school, and I talk about this all the time, especially in elementary school, children have to learn through repetition, which is why I said before, we teach shapes, we teach symbols, we teach all types of things. We teach patterns, because our numbers are shapes and symbols and patterns. So that's how we make up words. That's how we do counting. That's how we do adding. But at no point when you're teaching your child and you teach them that this is the number one, and then when you take another one and you bring them together, that's called adding, that gives you the value of 2. So 1 + 1 = 2. And your child says 1 + 1 = 3. You're not going to go back and say, hey, here's what you're doing wrong. You're going 1 + 1 and you're saying it equals 3. But in order for one, and you add 2 to 1 to make it equals 3. You don't add 1 to 1. So why are we teaching what you're doing wrong? 1 + 1 = 2. Repetition, 1 + 1 = 2. There are series. We can put them into groups. We can look at them. We can count them. They represent something. I keep telling the story about when I learned that numbers could be spelled with letters Dude, I almost lost my mind in school when I was, because I enjoyed writing and I thought writing was great. And then they were like, yeah, so this is the number 7. I'm like, yeah. And they were like, but when you're writing, you want to write the number 7. And I'm like, that is writing the number 7. They're like, no, SEVEN. I'm like, oh, you can spell 7 also? And so this is the thing that happens when we start to, you don't have to teach me to not, that I've been putting the number 7 in a sentence when I needed to be writing out the word 7. You don't have to beat me over the head saying that that thing that I was doing, that behavior that I was doing was wrong. All you have to do is teach me the right thing to do and then let me do that thing. So that I know by me taking the appropriate steps, by me taking the appropriate behaviors, I'm growing. I'm getting better. Welcome in, Justice. This is important, man, because if we don't start to understand that growth is about implementing the correct thing, not bashing the wrong thing, we'll continue to hold ourselves and others back. Movement this year is not about looking back at last year at the things that you did that didn't help you move. It's about taking on the behaviors this year into the things that will help you to move. You don't have to continue to talk about the things that didn't work. Why? They didn't work. Why would we continue to have that conversation? Why would we continue to travel down that path? Why would we continue to journey through a method, through in a way that it does not allow for us to actually grow? Improved behaviors require improved behaviors. Don't let nobody beat you over the head with the things that you've done wrong and how you've done things wrong. It's all about growing. It's all about doing things better and understanding when you start to take these steps, it's more important for you to learn the right steps than it is for you to be taught the wrong steps. No one wants to teach the wrong way to do something. And then when you have to unteach it, you can't unteach it. You just have to teach the right way to do something again. Guys, thank you for being here today. Thank you for stopping in. It is right now 4:26 in the evening here on the East Coast in Maryland. I want to thank you guys for being a part of this, just joining me. I just wanted to jump on real quick. I had a little time this afternoon, this evening, and I wanted to spend that time sharing this information because I think it is crucial. I know it is crucial for the development of people, for humans, for us in our own lives in the way, because we have to be self-aware. We have to be self-accountable in the way that we speak to ourselves and acknowledge ourselves and care for ourselves, for us to know that we need to be doing the right thing, not beating ourselves up for doing the wrong thing. What's up, Kevin? Oh, you down there where? Prince George's County or Montgomery County? That's the southern area. That's the southern Maryland part. I'm up north. I'm in Hartford. So you guys, one of the things that's going to be important, right? One of the things that's going to be important to make sure we understand that we're traveling the way that is best for us. Oh, Calvert. Oh, you in the woods. Going, dude, I used to live in Prince George's County. Somebody said they was going to Calvert County. I was like, man, I ain't going out there. What's the people's name? The Proctors. I ain't going out there messing with them Proctors. Calvert County and Charles County. I ain't going over there. So the thing that's interesting, guys, and the thing that I really want to encourage is, let's remember, we need to take on the appropriate behaviors. We need to know the right way to work and the appropriate way to move. So here's the thing, man. When you start to take the right steps, you start getting better. And when you start getting better and you see that growth and you see that, like, we're not going to fall back to doing it the wrong way. We don't need to remember how we did it wrong, because we can now see how what we're doing now is so beneficial, how strong it is, how it moves us forward. And even if we do slip up, it's not saying, hey, I'm falling back to what I used to do before. It's simply saying, hey, I'm not doing what I know to do now. So we teach the right thing to do and we stay on the right thing to do. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, man, if you haven't done so yet, please check in. Let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, where you are. You can double tap that screen and hit that like button just to let me know that you appreciate anything you've seen or read, guys. It's always a pleasure to have you here. So look, man, for me, it's a big, big intentional endeavor to make sure I'm taking steps in the right way. Always in Wisconsin, Top Gun. I know you're an hour difference from me, so it's about 4:30 in the afternoon for you. It's 4:30 here. It's about 3:30 for you. So, um, rude comes from everywhere. But this is what I mean about taking the right steps. This is what I mean about doing the right thing, right? When we focus on doing the right thing versus trying to remember not to do the wrong thing, then we are definitely moving forward in our life. It can be a challenge for a lot of people to understand what's necessary in order to move forward. It can be a challenge to try to figure out, how do I stop doing the wrong thing and start doing the right thing? The easiest way to do that is just learn the right way and the right thing to do, and then focus on doing that. That's why I discuss discipline, repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. You start doing the right thing and you keep doing the right thing day after day after day after day. You keep doing it. And then that's going to roll into, after you start doing the right thing, you're going to have patience. You're going to build that skill. You're going to build on that talent. You're going to develop that tool set. You're going to become better and better at it. And after you've spent that time building it and becoming better at it, at that point, you're going to develop a plan, because I guarantee you, if you're working towards something and you're doing it diligently, your body is going to ask you the question, why? Why are we doing this? I'm doing it because I'm trying to achieve something. We're doing it because we're trying to get somewhere. The body's going to say, where are we going and what are we doing? And this is the point when you put in a plan, and now we have to start to grade with consistency. Once we start working with consistency towards a goal, at that point, it's perseverance. Perseverance is different from patience. Perseverance is when you continue to put in the time, the hours, and the development, when you have this skill, but you know it needs to be applied so that it can build and you can be rewarded for it. Versus patience is when you know that you're developing, you're learning, it's going to take time for you to even get to the point where you can apply this skill appropriately. But when you persevere, that is the ultimate. That's the high end of that, where you're now in a position where you can honestly and directly say, hey, I know that I have the ability to perform this endeavor, to perform this task and do it at a high level and be rewarded for it. That is how we're going to grow, guys. Stop focusing on the missteps. Stop letting people tell you about where you've been wrong. Stop letting people tell you, oh, this is where you used to be. And let's start focusing on the right steps. Because if you continue to yourself, or allow others to point to the lowest moments in your life and use that to judge you and use that to grade you, then it's not going to allow for you to move forward. Even in the worst of times, we have to focus on becoming the best versions of us. I have no thoughts on Venezuela and Maduro leaving. Only in as much as the Venezuela situation has been going on for a while, any involvement by the United States in that endeavor is played as a political game, but it's about money. And the whole position, every time in the history of the United States that the United States has gone into a country and removed its leader, it's because they want to put somebody else in space to allow for them to have access to the resources and the land. You heard Trump earlier say he'd help Ukraine, but they would have to give the United States, and specifically him, give him access to the land and mineral rights of Ukraine. And they're like, yeah, we'll help you if we can own you. Well, like that's our whole fight now is we don't want Russia to own us. And so, in that regard, when it comes to any political endeavors where the United States is involved, look for the money. If you want to do anything, look for an opportunity to find out where to put your money so you can grow your future from there. That's honest. Noah, indeed, yes, we have to have the consistency and the perseverance because when we get that skill set and we get that tool, and this is why I say it's important for a lot of people to take time before they head to college. And the reason I say that is because for a lot of people, when we start to go off to college, when we start to look at, hey, I'm going to go to school, what are you going to major in? So many, they always talk about athletes and they say less than 1% of athletes go professional in the sports that they play in college. Right. How many people go into the professional careers that they train for in college? How many English majors come out and become educators? How many engineers come out and become architects? How many of these people who work specifically on coding and security and they come out and they find themselves doing something else? Why? Because the areas where the money is made are for the people who show the ability. College is about perseverance. College is about the perseverance and the ability to be able to show that you can go into a situation, you can see the work ahead of you, you can take on that responsibility, and you can complete those endeavors over time. Sports are different from games. Sports are a lot different from a lot different from education and the courses you take. But the thing that I want you guys to remember is that even in those situations, so many people come out of school after going through their major and they work in a different field. Ask them. Take a moment. You don't have to take my word for it. Go find 10 or 15 people who've graduated with a 4-year degree and ask them, are you working in the field that you majored in college? What is communications degree? What is a communications degree? What's the purpose of having a communications degree? That's the name they gave general studies. That's the name they gave, hey, I'm just going to college to say I went. I don't have a major. I don't know what I want. I'm going to do all the electives. I'm going to do some of each of the specific concentrations, and I'm going to finish school with a bachelor's degree in communication. I'm telling you, ask the questions, figure it out. Here's why we have to do this. And here's why I'm saying it, because it's more important that we're doing the right thing. It's more important that we're doing the right thing versus looking at the things that we did wrong. And when it's time to go to school, let's figure out what it is you want to do so you're actually spending money learning something that's going to be relevant in your future. Average NBA player takes 10 years to retire. Average person with a degree can find a good paying job less than 3 years. Are you talking about the math of the money that's made? You understand, you understand that the NBA is a very specific niche. This is why you don't have but one, there aren't that many NBA jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one NBA, right? There's one NBA. Then there's a G League, and then there's a elite league and a European league, and like there's one NBA, right? So if there's one NBA and we start talking about getting a job in that field, yes, most people who are playing sports to get an education are not going to go into that field. I'm not knocking a degree. I'm not sure if you're hearing what I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you, most people who go to school for a specific degree do not take a job in the focus of their major. There's a lot of different things that can happen after you leave your current job. Here's the thing that I want to share, and this is another part of what I always share. And I say to people, it's important for you to understand that when you go out and when you're working, there's a difference between working and a job, because we work all the time. We worked long before there was money. This is why when we sit around the house and there's nothing to do, we get bored, because the body is used to working, it's used to producing something. There's a difference between motion and movement, right? So we can be in motion. For example, I'm going to use the example of sports. A person can go in motion on a football field, but nothing happens. Ball doesn't snap. There's no pass. But what this motion does is, by being active and being in motion, we are now getting information. We're getting information from the defense. Are they in a zone? Are they going to blitz? Where are they blitzing from? What's the coverage? Where are the people? Like, motion is important, but movement is when you are doing something that is building and creating something. And you have to start to take those steps. And everything I'm talking about right now, and what I started this on, is making sure we're focusing on taking the steps necessary for us to grow. Stop focusing and allowing others to have us focus on the things that are holding us down, the things that were mistakes in the past. We have to focus on the things that need to be done right and do those things. And so when we're in motion is when we start to work on things. When we're like, okay, I want to get this done. I have to get started. I'm in motion. No, I'm not making any movement right now. This isn't a lot of progress happening right now, but I am in motion. And then when we start to become that, when we don't want to just be busy, because this is what happens for a lot of people. They get in motion, running back and forth, and they feel like they're getting something done, but you're not. You're just in motion. You're being busy. You're getting worn out. You're getting tired, but you're not getting anywhere. Again, to go back to the analogy of the football player in motion, if the football player is in motion and keeps running back and forth, and you're trying to get the information, by the time you say go, he's exhausted. Main man's like, listen, you better throw me the ball right here where I'm at. I done ran 47 yards. So you are in motion. Motion is for you to uncover and realize, where are we going? How we have to do it? What is in front of us? And then we need movement. We need a hut. We need to go. We need to snap the ball. And then once we snap the ball, now we're moving forward. Now we're getting something done. This is going to be really important, guys. This is important because when we're in motion, every time we do a play, stop letting people tell you that your previous play is what you have to go back to, and you need to do that play over again. I need to learn from the previous play. I need to make the corrections from the previous play, but I don't have to keep living in that past play. I don't have to keep living in that past moment. What's going on, Eclipse? All black people scream Bateman. All are ridiculous. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'm screaming because you particularly couldn't hear me. But for all of you who are here, for all of you who are here and participating, again, I want to say thank you for being here. Guys, I'm not staying on super long today. As I said, I just had a few moments. I wanted to take this opportunity to sit down and just be fun. Listen, I'm not screaming now. Why are you still trying to? It's not screaming. It's passionate, man. It's passion. Sometimes it come across as screaming. But I tell you what, it's exciting to understand when we start doing things and we start to come to an understanding of what we're doing and how it's moving us forward, that we're growing. It's exciting. It's difficult not to be exciting. It's difficult not to share. There is a challenge within ourselves and within the system to say, hey, man, I'm moving forward. I'm seeing growth. I'm developing. And in the process of me doing this development, in the process of me growing, it is difficult to not get excited. Emotions are cool, and let your emotions run free. Just don't let your emotions be destructive. Corona. Hey guys, once again, thank you for being here. If you haven't, double tap, like, give me a like, guys. It doesn't cost you anything to do a like. It's just a great way to be able to be involved. Uh, Emotions are a part of your life. If you attempt to control your emotions, you're attempting to suppress enjoying life. Emotions are not about how you respond. Emotions are about what you feel. See, people are under the impression is that what you see on the outside is indicative of the emotion. It's not. What you see on the outside is indicative of the response because people can be very, very upset and just be quiet. And some people get very, very upset and they take the action and anger and screaming. And see, that's a misnomer, is that this behavior is specifically attached to something, right? The emotion is the thing that happens to you. We can all respond differently to it, but controlling that, the matter of controlling that is a matter of you understanding who you are, where you're going, and what you're doing. Emotions are in every human. And if you think emotions are only for women, if you think emotions are only things that women respond to, that means that you have a deficiency to be emotionally attached to anyone. That means that you have a deficiency in being able to be in a relationship. You have a deficiency of being able to comfort and care for your children. You have a deficiency in being able to communicate and connect with the community. Emotions are emotions. It's not about how they physically show up. What comes out, what you see physically isn't the emotion. It's the person, it's the behavior. So keep in mind, emotions and behaviors are separate. You can control your behavior, but you can't control how you feel. Nah, let him stay alive. He'll learn. He's got to be at least, what, 12, 13? So that's the thing. And so that's the thing about guys. I'm getting ready to get off here. I thank you guys for coming in, hanging out with me. Have a good time. I'll see you guys next time. Please like, subscribe, share, guys. It's always a pleasure to be here. And until next time, as always, keep showing up, keep blowing up, and keep growing up, guys. God bless. Thank you, Italy. Welcome in from Italy. How are you doing? I'ma always scream at the game. Y'all take care, man. Y'all take care. Y'all know I love Popeyes.